Hello students, welcome to online classes of Shemstar Global School. This is Nabila Fatima. Here we are studying the chapter The Expansion of British Power in India, and this is part 6 of that chapter. In the previous video we had studied about the Battle of Plassey. In that battle we learned that how British killed Siraj ud-Daulah and won the Battle of Plassey. Now let's study the reasons for the Battle of Buxar. British made Mir Jafar Nawab of Bengal. As per the promise, British made Mir Jafar the new Nawab of Bengal. But he was Nawab only for name and he became puppet for the British. Mir Jafar soon realized that it was impossible for him to fulfill all the demands of the company. And at last, British removed Mir Jafar from the throne. British removed Mir Jafar and made Mir Qasim the new Nawab of Bengal. When Mir Jafar was not able to fulfill the demands of the company, they removed Mir Jafar from the throne and they made Mir Qasim, who was the son-in-law of Mir Jafar, as the new Nawab. Mir Qasim was an efficient ruler. Mir Qasim emerged as a threat to the company. He was an efficient and a strong ruler. He reorganized his army and also improved the state administration. Mir Qasim wanted EEIC to pay tax. Earlier, East India Company was not paying taxes for doing trade in India because of dastak issued to them by Mughal emperor. Qasim opposed the issue of dastak to East India Company. Dastak was a pass in which English East India Company could trade in India without paying taxes. Afterwards, English East India Company started misusing dastak. They had started giving these dastak to their private traders. And this also was not liked by the Nawab of Bengal, Mir Qasim. Mir Qasim was removed by British due to dastak issue. Nawab wanted English East India Company to pay taxes, but the British refused to pay taxes. Frustrated at this, Mir Qasim abolished the taxes for the local Indian traders also. Now, Indian merchants could also enjoy concession, but the East India Company cannot tolerate this, and they removed Mir Qasim from the position of the Nawab and made Mir Jafar again the Nawab of Bengal. The Battle of Buxar, and it was fought in the year 1764. This battle is known as Battle of Buxar because it was fought at Buxar, which was a small fortified town of the British in Bihar, and it is located in the banks of river Ganga. So this battle is named after this place only. Now let's study about the Battle of Buxar. Mir Qasim went to Awadh. When Mir Qasim was removed from the position of Nawab, he went to Awadh, which was a neighboring state, and he took a shelter in Awadh. Here is a map of India, and in this map you can see that Bengal and Awadh is a neighboring state. Bengal was the first state which was captured by the British. When Mir Qasim was removed from the position, he went to Awadh and took shelter in Awadh, and the Nawab of Awadh at that time was Shuja ud-Daulah. Mir Qasim joined hands with Nawab of Awadh, Shuja ud-Daulah, and Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. Mir Qasim, Shuja ud-Daulah combined their forces with the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II, and they fought against the British in the Battle of Buxar in the year 1764. But British won the war. The combined Indian army of Shah Alam II Suja-ud-Dawla and Mir Qasim were defeated by the British in the Battle of Buxar. Treaty of Allahabad was signed between Suja-ud-Dawla, Shah Alam II and Robert Clive. After the war, an agreement was signed between Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II, Suja-ud-Dawla and Robert Clive. The treaty marked the beginning of the British rule in India. Under this agreement, Suja-ud-Dawla had to give 50 lakhs rupees to Britishers as a war compensation. Shah Alam II gave the British the Diwani, which is the right to collect taxes of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. At the end of battle, Shah Alam II remained the king only for name, and all his rights, that is, his political right, his military rights and his revenue rights were taken by the British. At the end of Battle of Buxar, we learned that British got the right to collect taxes from 3 states, that is, Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. Now, let's study about dual administration. Dual administration was introduced by Robert Clive. So, Robert Clive introduced dual administration in Bengal. Dual means rule of 2 persons. Here, 2 persons are Company and Nizam of Bengal. Company has real powers and Nizam was responsible for maintaining peace and order. After signing Treaty of Allahabad, British got the right to collect taxes from Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. So after this treaty, English East India Company became the real ruler of Bengal. The English had full control over revenue collection and military administration. A small amount of revenue was given to Nawab to run the civil administration. The EEIC had all the resources and power, but they had not taken any responsibility. On the other hand, Nawab had all the responsibility but no resources and power. This system of government was known as dual administration or dual government. It resulted into a great misery for the people of Bengal. So neither the company nor the Nawab cared for the people. It led to the breakdown of the administrative machinery. Law and order broke down in Bengal. Even the officials showed no misery and they continued to collect taxes even at the time of famine, which worsened the condition of the people. In 1772, Warren Hastings ended the dual administration. When Warren Hastings became the governor of Bengal in 1772, he ended dual administration system of Bengal and he brought Bengal under the direct control of the company. In this video, we learned that how British got control over Bengal, Bihar and Orissa, and even they got the right to collect taxes from these areas. So students, please watch the video carefully, and if you have any problem in any topic, then ask from me by putting your questions in the comment section. Thank you.